Dear students, welcome back to our session. So previous video we have seen what is volume of cylinder. What was volume of cylinder? The formula was pi r square h. So online I have posted in Google Classroom a video, animated video it is, where volume of cylinder is explained. So if you haven't watched that, please go through the video, very interesting video, and easily you will learn the formula for volume of cylinder. Okay, so we have done question number 1, and second and third was for homework. So today I will be sending the answer key. So those students who have done this, cross check your answers with the answer key, and if you haven't done, first do that sums, second and third one under question number 1, and then you can cross check your answers in the answer key. Okay, now we are going to do question number 2, 3 and 4. With that we'll finish practice at 16.3 and the chapter itself. Okay, chapter 16 we will finish it off today, and in the next video we will start with the new chapter, that is the last chapter, chapter number 17, circle, chord and arc. Okay, so now let's begin. So volume of cylinder is nothing but pi r square h. So you are going to use that formula and solve the questions further. But what is given in the question, let's see. Second question, how much iron is needed to make a rod of length 90 cm and diameter 1.4 cm? Now iron rod you might have seen during the where you can see construction sites etc. That greyish, dark greyish or the blackish color which you can see, the iron rods are placed and then the cement is filled to build the pillars etc. You might have come across this, isn't it? So that iron rod, what shape is that iron rod? It is cylindrical in shape, and to make that iron rod, how much we need, is needed to make, how much iron we need, how you will understand with the help of volume of that iron rod. Okay, so first we are going to see what is given here. What is given? Length is given. So length of that iron rod is nothing but the height, how much long it will be, and they have given us the diameter 1.4. Do we need diameter in our formula? No, we need radius, because our formula is pi r square h, correct? So we have to first convert the diameter into radius. Can we find out radius when diameter is given? Yes, we can find out. Half of diameter is nothing but radius. So let's solve, students. Let's see how to solve it. So this is solution for main question 2. First write down what is given. So that is diameter of iron rod is given as 1.4 cm. Therefore, radius, how will you find out radius? Diameter upon 2. Diameter is 1.4 divided by 2. How much you are going to get it here? Think that it is 14 or 1.4. Decimal point for the answer below. Half of 14 is what? 14 divided by 2 is what? Nothing but 7. Okay. Now, decimal point before how many numbers? 1 number. So where before 1 number you have to put a decimal point. So once you put a decimal point, no number is present here, isn't it? So what we are going to put? 0. So what is our radius? 0.7. Unit of measurement, centimeter. Okay. Now, what else is given? Length is given. So length here, it is nothing but height. So in the bracket just write height so that you will understand that height is nothing but length here of iron rod is how much? 90 centimeter. Volume of cylinder, is equal to pi r square h. Now substitute the value. We are finding volume of iron rod. Volume of iron rod is equal to, value of pi is 22 by 7 into 0.7 square, that is the radius. Height is 90. How to solve further? 22 upon 7 into 0.7 into 0.7, okay, into 90. Don't consider decimal point in the beginning, just think it is 7 and 7. 7 ones are 7. So we can cancel this, write 1. Now comes the decimal point. Where to put the decimal point? Before how many numbers? 1. So before one number you are going to put a decimal point. So what you are going to get it as 0.1. Okay? 22 into 7 ones are 7. Decimal point. Here also before one number, here also before one number. So altogether before how many numbers you are going to put the decimal point? Before two numbers you have to put decimal point. But students, here only one digit is there. So how can you put decimal point before two numbers? So what you are supposed to do? Put a 0. So now you got two numbers and put a decimal point. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So before two numbers you put a decimal point and 0. As no numbers are there, you are going to put a 0. Then into 90. Now, how to solve further? You all know 7 nines are how much? 7 nines are 63. Correct? So 22 into 7 nines are 63. It is 7 into 90, not 9. Correct? So 7 into 90 is 630. Decimal point before how many numbers? 1, 2. So before two numbers you will put the decimal point. So what is the answer you are getting? 6.30. You can also take it as 6.3 because after 3 it is 0. So if you don't write, it's okay. So 22 into 6.3. How much you will get? Just check it. 60 into 22. 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12, same thing copy. 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 2 plus 1, 3 and 1. Okay, so what answer you are getting? 1386. Now, you have to put a decimal point. Okay, now here it was, if you are taking 630. So you will put decimal, here you will put a 0 and before two numbers you are going to put a decimal point. If you are considering it as 6.3 and not considering 0, then before one number you will put a decimal point. So what will be our answer? Suppose we are putting down. Now it was 630 into 20. Correct? It was 630 and decimal point was 0. So here also it will be 13,860. 13,860. Decimal point before how many numbers? 1, 2. So 1, 2. So before 6 you are going to put a decimal point. So what is your answer? What is the volume of that iron rod? How much iron we need? 138.60 or you can say 138.6 cubic centimeter. You are going to put cc. You are going to put cc. Okay. What does that mean? Cubic centimeter. Why we are putting cubic centimeter? Because we have found out volume. Okay. Now let's solve next question. What is there in the next question? So similar type of question you have already solved, students. That was I hope you all remember rainwater harvesting a tank was built, that question. Same way we are going to solve here, but the formula will change. What is there given? Third one, how much water will a tank hold if the interior diameter of the tank is 1.6 meter and its depth is 0.7 meter? So how are you going to find out the answer for this? Now, so in shops etc. you might have seen a blue colored drum, or it might be there in your homes where you can store water, correct? So it is cylindrical in shape. Now you have seen in shops also that it is of different capacity. Some will be little bit smaller, some will be little bit bigger and some will be too long. So amount of water each drum stores or we can store it before, isn't it? And what is that? Depends upon capacity of that drum. What do you mean by capacity in mathematical language? What we say? Volume, isn't it? So first we need to check how much is the volume of that tank, then only we can see how much water it can hold, correct? So even when you go to the shop, you check how much is the volume of that tank, and it is already written how much water it can hold, what will be the capacity of that tank, etc. Correct? Same thing is asked here, how much water will it hold? Now here the measurement is of tank. So first we have to find volume of tank. Once we get the volume, then we can find out how much liters of water it can hold. Okay, so let's solve. Now here there are two different methods to be solved. Either you can keep, now here you can see it is in meter. So either you can convert it into centimeter and solve it further, or you can keep it as meter only and then at the end you can convert into liters. Okay, so let's see how to solve. Okay, so first let's write interior diameter of the tank is equal to 1.6 meter for volume given radius. Therefore, radius is equal to diameter upon 2. 1.6 upon 2. Consider it as 16. Half of 16 is nothing but 8. Right? And decimal point before how many numbers? 1. So before one number put a decimal point and you will put your 0. This meter. Okay? Depth is given. What do you mean by depth here? It's nothing but height. In the bracket you can write height for your understanding. Depth of tank given as 0.7 meter. Now, what has to be done further? Find the volume. Volume of cylinder is equal to pi r square h. Volume of tank is equal to 22 upon 7 into 0.7 square into, 0.7 is the height, 0.8 square into 0.7. Solve it further, what you will get? 22 upon 7 into 0.8 into 0.8 into 0.7. 7 how much are 7? 7 ones are 7. So what you will get? 0.1. How? 1 are 7, decimal point before one number. So here also you will put before one number and you will put a 0. Now you all know what is 8 8s are? 8 8s are 64. Write that number and then put decimal point before one number, before one number. Total before two numbers you are going to put a decimal point and put a 0 into 0.1. 64 ones are, everyone knows it is 64. 64 ones are 64. Now how to put the decimal point? Check how many numbers? 1, 2, 3. So before 3 numbers you are going to put decimal point, correct? So here only 2 numbers are there. So previous sum also I told what to do? Put a 0 on the left side. So now we have 3 numbers, then put the decimal point and a 0. Okay, now what you are going to do? Multiply, don't consider any zeros over here. Multiply 64 into 22. 4 2s are 8, 6 2s are 12, 8 2 1. Same thing will come as again it is multiplied by 2. So 8 0 1 4 1. What is your answer? 1408. But we have to put a decimal point before how many numbers? 1 2 3. 1 2 3. So before 3 numbers you are going to put a decimal point. So when you put a decimal point, how much you are going to get? 1.408 meter cube. Okay, it's not centimeter, it is meter cube. Now capacity of the tank. Now we have to check, no, how much water. Can water be measured in liter? No, never. It is always measured in liters. So we have to convert this into liters. How are you going to convert it? For the previous question, for rainwater harvesting question, I told you all 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liter. Correct? So you are going to find out liters of water the tank can hold. So write down, therefore, liters of water the tank can hold is equal to 1.408 into 1000. Now when you multiply by 1000, what happens here? See, 1408 multiplied by 1000, so how many zeros? 3 zeros. But decimal point is there. Before how many numbers? 1, 2, 3. So before 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3, you will put a decimal point. After decimal point it is 0, 0, 0. So just forget about this. After decimal point you don't have to write anything. What is your answer is 1408 liters of water that tank can hold. So this will be your final answer. Okay. Now the last question is remaining of this chapter. Let's see what it is all about. What is given in the question? Find the volume of cylinder if the circumference of cylinder is 132 centimeter and height is 25 centimeter. Now, direct question, they have mentioned that we have to find volume of cylinder. What else is given here? To find out volume of cylinder, don't we need radius over here? Height is already given 25. But what about radius? Diameter is also not given so that we can take half. No, not possible. But some clue they have given. What? Circumference of cylinder. What is the circumference of a cylinder? You all know the formula for circumference. That is nothing but 2 pi r. So using that formula, as the value is also given 132, we can find out radius. Once we get the radius, we can find out. We have radius also, height also, and then we can find the volume of cylinder. So let's solve it. First, what is given that we are going to write down, that is circumference of cylinder is equal to 132 centimeter. Height is equal to 25 centimeter. What else we have to find out here? Apply the formula. Circumference of circle, we know it is 2 pi r. Circumference of cylinder is same. Cylinder will be 2 into 22 upon 7 into r. Circumference of cylinder given in the question 132. 2 into 22 upon 7 into r. What are we going to do here? We are going to shift all the numbers here. In spite of multiplying and keeping it together, it's better if you shift here so that cancelling becomes easy, students. Okay? So we'll keep this r here only and we'll shift this. On shifting, what happens here? We will take the reciprocal. Whatever was divided here, that is whatever is the denominator becomes the numerator over here and the numerator becomes denominator. So what will happen? 132 into, this will go up 7 and whatever is there here, it will come down 22 is equal to r. 2, how much are 132? 2 6 are 12, 1 remaining, 2 6 are 12. We get 66. 22 and 66 to 7 into 3, that is 21 centimeter. Now we got the radius, we have the height also. Now we can find out volume of cylinder. Volume of cylinder is equal to pi r square h. 22 upon 7 into radius is 21 square into 25. 22 upon 7 into 21 into 21 into 25. What gets cancelled over here? 7 3s are 21. Now out of these four numbers, which is easy to calculate, I hope you all know what is 25 3s are, correct? 25 3s are is what? 75. Now multiply 75 into 21. 1s are 8 is 75, 5 2s are 10, 7 2s are 14 plus 1, 50. So what you get? 1575, 1575. Now what are we supposed to do? Multiply with 22. 5 2s are 10, 7 2s are 14 plus 1, 15, 5 2s are 10 plus 1, 11, 2 1s are 2 plus 1, 3. Again multiplied by 2, so same number only will come. So repeat that. So what you are getting the total? 0, 5, 6, 4, 3. That is 34,650. 34,650 cubic centimeter. That is cc. Okay. With this, we have finished our practice set 16.3 and we have finished the chapter number 16, surface area and volume. So here students, we have discussed, what did we discuss in this chapter? About three-dimensional figures. What is the volume of cube? It is L cube. What is the volume of cuboid? Length into breadth into height. Then we discussed about another shape, cylinder. Curved surface area of cylinder, it includes curved surface area and total surface area. What is curved surface area? With the help of paper folding I have showed you all. So it is nothing but 2 pi r h. Okay. And then we discussed about total surface area. What was total surface area? With a solid figure, red color one, I hope you remember. So that was nothing but 2 pi r h plus r in the bracket. Okay. And last one we have discussed about volume of cylinder. So volume of cylinder is nothing but pi r square h. So these are the formula which you need to remember. Please don't by heart the formula. Try to understand how this formula we got, how we have written down, what activity teacher has shown. With the help of that you can learn. For volume of cylinder, one video is there. Please do watch that video so that easily you will remember the formula. Okay. So that's all for today students. We'll stop it here, and in the next video we are going to start with a very small chapter and the last chapter of the syllabus, that is chapter 17. Okay. So thank you so much everyone. So those students who haven't done the homework, please do it. Okay. And answer key, you can cross check the answer today. I'll be sending it. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.